Southeast Asia as we get them. However, now over to Europe, where Russia has abruptly cancelled its annual Navy Day parade, citing unspecified security reasons. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said safety was the top concern, but offered no further details. The parade, traditionally held on the last Sunday of July, was expected to showcase warships and submarines in St. Petersburg. President Vladimir Putin, who revived Navy Day in 2017, did not attend in person, but released a video praising the bravery and heroism of Russian naval forces currently engaged in Ukraine. Putin said the Russian Navy is participating in July Storm, a massive set of Navy drills across the Baltic, Caspian, Arctic and Pacific, involving over 150 vessels and 15,000 troops. The parade's cancellation marks another reminder of growing concerns over internal security as Russia continues to face retaliatory strikes from Ukraine deep inside its own territory. We're once again joined by Martin Tsar-Arias. Martin, this is going to be a morale downer for the Russian cause. However, it is currently taking part in this huge demonstration, participating in the July Storm. What can you tell us about Russia's naval capabilities?
So first of all, I would need to start by saying that this type of cancellations have never happened since Soviet times. So this is like a milestone for Russia's security. Even though the Kremlin has never blamed directly Ukraine, obviously they are afraid of the threat of Ukraine. And right now I think the Navy of Russia is not as strong as it was before, after Ukraine showed their capabilities in destroying the Russian drones and force. Right now we're watching a symbolic win for Ukraine because in terms of symbolism, this is a huge and important parade, and the cancellation just shows how the Kremlin is concerned and is not as sure as before it is absolutely superior to the Ukrainian forces.
Yes, indeed. What more can you tell us about this event, what it means for Russia, and how they are doing with the backdrop of the obvious war going on? We know that Russia has sanctions on it from many Western countries and huge economic powers. However, putting these large parades and maritime and launching these large maritime drills, how does this show against Russia's economy?
So, as I said, these type of parades and events are part of the symbolic pride of the nation, of how the Kremlin shows to its population the strength of Russia, the power of Russia against its enemies. However, right now in these war times, we're watching a weakened army. The Russian army has been always showing superiority in nuclear weapons and in massive destruction weapons. However, right now we're watching that its army is not as strong as they portrayed before. Right now, as I said, after Ukrainian attacks showing the capability of Ukraine, Russia is trying to be more cautious and more taking care about how it deals the war. And right now it's also not a great time for Russian economy after being boycotted by Europe, by the US, and having a lot of sanctions. So it's not the best times for Russian economy and army.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Martin Tsar-Arias, for joining us on the programme. We now move over to the Middle East for our next